Welcome to episode 16 of Wrestle Erotica, the only podcast that joins together wrestling fan fiction and erotica. This week, as with every week, we have two stories to feature. The first story is called Of Hamelin. In this story, Roddy Piper joins fellow Lone Wolf CM Punk after a show. CM Punk then shows him his tour bus. Once on the bus, Piper finally gives in to CM Punk's advances. The second story is called The Queen Bee and the Velveteen Princess. In this story, Velvet Sky makes her return to TNA, where she wins the Knockouts Championship. She is then joined by her best friend, Madison Rayne, at a hotel room to celebrate this title victory. Without further ado, let's get to this week's stories. This story is called Of Hamelin, and it is written by user Lamento Mori. You out here to howl at the moon too? Roddy Piper takes a seat on the low wall that separated the loading docks from the parking lot beside Punk. He nodded vaguely in acknowledgement, but gave no other indication he'd heard what Piper had said. I never had you pegged for the hiding in parking lots type. He glances over at Punk and nudges him slightly. I wasn't, Punk says eventually, his voice quiet and low. Things change. He shrugs and looks over at Piper, something off in his expression. So, what do you think of the new Roddy Piper? He smiles slightly, and Piper laughs. Yeah. The Empress kid is good. One day, her'll be great. More of a Pillman if you ask me. Roddy laughs. A snort of amusement, and Punk chuckles. Glad you agree. He returns to staring up at the night sky. I wonder if he resents the comparison. Well, you always did. That is true enough. The first time they'd met, long ago, Punk had been introduced as what could be this generation's hot rod. He'd scoffed and said that was impossible. The only thing he could be was this generation's CM Punk. Piper had agreed, and their conversation had gone from there. He ply you for stories too? Punk asked, turning to Roddy once more, tucking his legs up, looking like he's setting in for the long haul again. Over the years, Piper is certain Punk has tapped him for more road stories than any other kid he's ever come across. The one night Punk and his buddy Cabana had tag teamed him, all but killed his throat. Telling them tales of the adventures of Hot Rod had been like trying to fill a leaky bucket. No one has ever plied me quite like you, Punk. Another snort of amusement, and Punk pulls some kind of exaggerated, miserable face. I'm sure I should be offended, but he trails off, resting his chin in his hands and smiles. Something soft and lazy. But Roddy twists slightly to face him. The first time they'd met, Punk had propositioned him. What? It had been incredibly awkward, fobbing him off. Awkward and strangely amusing. The kid he'd been then had laughed it off, apologizing and sending his wife a bunch of flowers, which had led to an odd stumbling conversation and explaining of something close enough to the truth to satisfy her. Accepting that wrestlers will engage in some unmentionable things is perhaps the key to being married for any length of time in the business. Not that Piper has, it's never appealed. He loves his wife too much for it too. But the scruffy bleach blonde, blue-tipped kid making the offer has always played on the back of his mind. If he was going to fuck one of the boys, it'd be Punk. I find I don't much care. Punk shrugs. Looks suddenly very tired. Not just physically, mentally, emotionally. You tired? It sounds like a simple question, but it's far from it. It's a deep, multi-layered thing. A question and a question. Tired and needing to sleep. Tired and needing to be away from the ring. Tired and needing away from here. Punk nods. I'm always tired, Piper. He sighs and scrubs at his face. So, I hear you got one of these bus gimmicks. Piper stands, dust off his pants. Give me a tour. Punk. Punk raises an eyebrow and stands. If the kid gets what he really means, Piper's got no idea, but there's meaning behind these words too. They met a long time ago, but the offer has always been there, and the miserable set in Punk's shoulders is giving away that the end is nigh for it. Missed opportunities are the only things in life people should regret, and he hates regretting things. Punk's bus is big, shiny silver, and entirely something that would have been laughed at back in his day. Inside is very Punk. Comic books and cables trailing all over the place. It amuses Piper entirely too much. You'd be a laughing stock in my day, Piper tells him, a smirk on his lips. I did my fair share of sleeping in cars with my friends, Punk mutters, messing up his hair some and taking off his hoodie. Or sleeping with your friends in cars.
Oh, snap!
Huh? Piper laughs and Punk groans. You want a drink? He actually looks mildly uncomfortable, as though he really isn't sure what's going on here at all. What you got? Roddy smiles at him, aiming for reassuring, and he seems to relax somewhat, running a hand through his hair. Water and Pepsi? He walks over to the fridge and opens it. There's some milk. He gives a nervous laugh, and Piper starts looking through the stack of DVDs in the corner by the TV, all labeled in a cursive scrawl he assumes is Punk's. Old matches from various defunct promotions, a bunch of horror movies, including his own. The odd little doodle on that one disc of what looks like Piper makes him laugh. I went with water. Punk comes over, hands him a bottle of water, and he twists the cap off, drinking from it. You're not much of an artist, Punk. I wouldn't give up the day job. Piper grins at him, and he sighs. Tired and done it is, then, Piper thinks, wondering if anyone else has noticed how sincere the threats of being finished with the WWE's shit actually are. From what he can gather of the backstage opinion on Punk, it's rather similar to the backstage opinion of himself. A lot of hot air, but not much else. It's naive, really. Determination isn't something either of them lack. A will to carry out threats, the need for personal survival over pretty much all else. There was, perhaps, something of a truth in Punk being introduced to him as this generation's hot rod all those years ago. Punk looks at him expectantly, and he sighs. You want me to start quoting it, or something? He mutters, snorting a laugh, staring at Punk as he fidgets, looking slightly confused. Well, if you want to paraphrase, I won't object to. I have come here to chew bubblegum and fuck your ass. Punk grins, and rubs at the back of his neck. I'm all out of gum. Roddy snorts with laughter, and steps closer to him, pulling him into a kiss. Once the decision to fuck Punk was been made, getting down to the business of it is all that's on Piper's mind. The body in his arms is responsive, all low moans and almost reverent hands. It should feel weird, being touched like this, but somehow, he's used to the reverential way these kids treat him, like he was some kind of venerable gentleman that needs to be treated with constant respect. The few bumps he's taken more recently have been feather soft and gentle. It amuses him, all this lauded, strong style bullshit with each other, and yet, with a legend, they show they can work like children, and really, that is what so many of them backstage are, the old boys included. Need to remember to play nice. Bed, Punk says, breaking the kiss, then diving in for another, his hands in Piper's hair, running through it gently. Back here, another kiss, this way, a third, and this time Roddy breaks it, his hands running down Punk's back, grabbing his ass. I guess, kid, I'll have to play you there then. He laughs, and Punk looks at him, confusion at first, then realization dawning over him. You ain't got a flute, though. He smiles, and Roddy manages to resist the urge to make a crass joke, instead stepping round him and walking to the back of the bus, Punk following closely behind. Nice! Piper mutters and pulls Punk's shirt over his head. He presses him against a wall and starts kissing down his throat and over his shoulders. Got the gimmicks? Piper asks, and Punk laughs. I love how you guys use gimmick to cover anything you'd remember the name of. He laughs and kisses Piper, his hand still gentle and timid. I got gimmicks? He grins and waggles his eyebrows. Thought you had a girlfriend, Piper asks, turning Punk round and walking towards the bed, pushing on his shoulders, forcing him down on it. I do, and I don't want kids. I'm fucking responsible. He grins. Responsible fucking?
Yes!
Piper laughs. Where? He looks down at Punk and pulls the baggy shorts from him. How the fuck do you not freeze your balls off? Piper mutters, commando in thin shorts in January. This kid is an idiot. They need to breathe. He smirks and squirms up the bed, leans over, and opens a drawer in a nightstand, tossing a condom and lube to Piper. Breathe? There need thawing. He mutters, opening the lube and coating one hand. He's fucked people in the ass before. The mechanics are essential, but mildly irritating. One of the many reasons fucking a woman is easier. He slides one finger inside of Punk, and his back arches from the bed. Oh, fuck! His eyes focus on Roddy's own. You have no idea how long I've waited for this. He moans. A few years? Piper snorts and eases another finger into him, stretching them apart. Years and years and years, he moans, rocking down against Roddy's hand. Fuck! More! He demands, and Piper pulls his fingers out, shedding his pants and boxers. Age is a pain in the ass. As fuckable as Punk is, it'll take him a while to remind his cock to be interested in it. He tosses Punk the lube. Give yourself more! He smirks at Punk, who looks at him incredulously and sighs. Fucking part-timers! He works one slick finger inside of himself. Legend! Different contract, Punk. Roddy smirks and starts jacking his cock, watching his second finger being added. Ah, fuck! Same thing. Making me do all the work. He smirks and fucks himself with his fingers, slow and deep as he can. You want me to? He nods at Roddy's slowly hardening cock and gets a short headshake in response. Keep going. A third finger has him arching his back again, his throat barred and offered up. It seems the change is as good as the rest for Piper's cock. It's been a while since he's gotten hard this quickly. He opens the condom and rolls it down his cock, then catches Punk's wrist. You ready? Punk nods and pulls his fingers from himself, giving Piper's cock a quick stroke, eyes widening at the size. Maybe not! He smirks, and Piper laughs. You'll be fine. Punk grabs his own cock and starts stroking himself, his half erection firming up as Piper enters him. Fuck! You ever been fucked before? Piper's eyes narrow as he moves, rocks back and forth inside Punk's tight body. Once or twice. His eyes are screwed shut, his hand moving rapidly, breath shallow and quick. Wanna stop? Piper asks, leaning over him, stroking his hair slightly. His eyes open and he shakes his head. Give me a second. He forces his breathing to slow down. His eyes focus on Roddy's own again. Kiss me? It's an easy request to grant. The kiss is unexpectedly slow and soft. The few previous ones were hard and fast, all teeth and tongue, but that isn't what Punk needs right now. Understanding born of similarities, Piper supposes, breaking the kiss to lap at his throat some more. Okay? Piper asks when Punk's legs wrap around his waist, squeezing lightly. Yeah. He smiles, and Roddy begins fucking him in earnest, licking and nibbling on his bared throat. His hands tug at the shirt Piper's still wearing, nails scrabbling over the fabric. Off? He tugs at the shirt, and Piper pulls back from his lips. He's wearing some kind of an attempt at a sweet, innocent look, failing miserably, but trying, and it's kind of endearing. Fine, fine. He pulls the shirt over his head, and Punk rears up, his mouth moving over as much of Roddy's chest as he can reach. Piper moves back, pulls out of him, and sits at the head of the bed. Part-timer. He grins and gestures to his cock. Punk sighs dramatically and lowers himself over it, moaning softly as being on top lets Piper's dick sink further into him. He fucks himself slow and easy, his legs working to make his movements fluid. You really making me do all the work? He moans after a while. He's looking rather glazed, close to coming. Piper thinks, and he's glad of that. His own orgasm is painfully close. I'll give you a hand. He wraps one hand around Punk's cock and strokes him quickly. It's surprising how little it takes to make him come. His head thrown back, shivering and moaning. He rises from Roddy's dick and pulls the condom off, his mouth sinking over the revealed flesh. It's embarrassing that he comes after a few bobs of Punk's head. But really, Piper was close, and Punk gives good head. He collapses beside Piper, a lazily content grin on his face, and sticks his tongue out, the splash of white cum still on it. He makes a show of swallowing, and Piper shakes his head. A comfortable silence settles over them. Punk lazily staring at the roof, and Piper quietly considering what to do next. So, Punk sits up in the bed, his back against the wall, his head bowed, and Piper glances over at him, still slumped against the wall. He hates growing old, hates the aches that settle in his bones so easily, hates that all his body would like right now is to have a sleep. His mind is picturing the other positions he could fuck Punk in throughout this bus, and he'd much rather be able to follow through on those thoughts. So, he asks. Punk tucks his legs up under his chin, looks over at him, a bright grin on his face. You finally caved. His grin is infectious. Piper can feel one of his own on his face. I guess I did. He stands, and grabbing his boxers and shirt up from the floor, pulling at least his underwear back on. You ain't gonna ask why? He sits back on the bed, looking over his shoulder at Punk. Nah. He shakes his head and squirms closer, his chest pressed against Piper's back, arms about his chest. Thank you, though. He sounds desperately sincere. All Roddy can do is shrug and pat one of the colorful arms. It's an odd thing being thanked for a fuck, especially these days. You ain't getting your Mania main event before you go? Figured you might as well get something else. Piper laughs, his comment drawing a huff of amusement from Punk. Wanted to win the Rumble too. Punk's voice is pitched low and rough. I get something else for that too? His lips brush against the back of Roddy's neck, his tongue darting out to taste the skin there. Got a whole bunch of other pay-per-views I didn't get to a main event. A veritable laundry list of grievances. He murmurs, and Piper almost sighs. This kid aims to be the death of him. He twists round, grabs Punk's chin, holds it firm, and rubs a hand through his hair. Give me a ride to the next town, and I'll help you with some of those grievances. The end. This story is called The Queen Bee and the Velveteen Princess, and it is written by Twilight Omega. Ladies and gentlemen, your new TNA Knockouts champion, Velvet Sky! Christy Hemming's voice could barely be heard above the loud, roaring cheers of the Manchester, England crowd as Jamison Zatir, otherwise known to the TNA fans as TNA's booty-shaking leader of the Pigeon Army, Velvet Sky, had just won a fatal four-way match for the Knockouts Championship, with the other three Knockouts being Gail Kim, who she eliminated last, Brooke Tessmacher, whom she also eliminated, and the Knockouts champion Tara, who got eliminated first by Gail Kim. After Velvet had done the work, of course, my god, they're all so happy for me. I'm so glad I came back to TNA. My fans are amazing. Jamie thought to herself as she continued to pose in the ring with the Knockouts Championship belt for a while. For the fans, this of course was not a live Impact. It was one of the tapings in England for TNA's month-long England tapings, which would be aired on TV soon, which meant she couldn't call herself the champ technically until it aired. But Jamie knew, soon enough, she'd be able to do that, or it spread like wildfire on the internet that she had won it. My god, I've never heard such a big reaction after any of my matches before. I really must be adored by the fans here in England. I should make a note to come visit here again soon. They're all really nice. I should go backstage now though. Can't hold up the tapings for too long. Plus, I can celebrate backstage. Jamie thought to herself as she got out of the ring and walked down the ramp towards the backstage area. Once back there, the other three Knockouts involved in the match all were waiting, and all three hugged her and congratulated her on her win. Jamie felt so special right now. She was ecstatic that she had the Knockouts Championship again. It meant that the company really did want her back, and that they had a lot of faith in her. To carry the Knockouts division, which she looked forward to. Congrats, girl! You really deserve the belt. Hell yeah, she does! I can't think of anyone better to have lost it to than you, girl. Gail, Brooke, and Tara respectively praised Jamie, making her blush. The three women smiled and hugged her some more as Jamie said to them, Gosh, you're all so kind. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're my friends, and I'm glad that I got to have such an epic match with you three. And I know we're all going to have many more. You can count on that, girl. I want my title back. Jamie smiled and laughed, as did the other two women at Tara's words. The three Knockouts said their goodbyes to Jamie as they went off to get changed. Jamie thought to herself she probably should as well. She needed to go to her hotel room and relax. It'd been a hectic day today at the tapings, and she really wanted some rest and relaxation, and some chocolates, and to watch some South Park. Guess I better go get changed and go myself, Jamie said to herself as she started walking down the hallways, trying to remember exactly where her locker room was. As she walked down the hallways, she heard a familiar, happy-sounding voice from behind her, which made her smile. Jamie! Girl! Ashley! Jamie turned around and was hugged by her best friend, Ashley Cabot, who is known to TNA fans as Madison Rayne. She's a killer queen! A former member of the Beautiful People, an on-again, off-again rival of Jamie's on-air character, Velvet, of course. Of course, off-screen, the two were best friends, and Ashley seemed really happy right now. Congrats, girl, on winning the Knockouts title again. I just knew you would. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. I really, really am. Oh, thanks, girl. That means a lot coming from you. You've always been here for me. I really appreciate it. That's what BFFs are for, girl. You know, we really should catch up. It's been like forever since we had a good girly night and talked and had junk food and had fun prank calling people. You know, like we used to back in the day. You mean last year? Yeah, haha. Both Jamie and Ashley laughed. Jamie thought about it for a moment, and she realized Ashley was right. It had been far too long since they had time to just be girly girls and gorge themselves on various junk foods. So, of course, she was going to say yes to her friend. You're right, girl. We really should catch up. How about tonight? I just need to get changed real quick. Then we can go in my car to my room in the hotel and celebrate my title win and have some good old-fashioned, beautiful people fun. Yay! I miss having fun with you. We always had such a good time, especially when it came to prank calling people. Haha. Hell yeah, we did. I can't wait myself, girl. How about you go get your things from your locker room while I get changed? Then you come knock on my door when you're ready, and we'll walk to my car together. Okay, Jamie. See you real soon then, girl. Jamie noticed the twinkle in Ashley's eyes as Ashley skipped off down the hallways. Jamie went into her locker room, which they had stopped right by, and thought to herself, Ashley seemed really, really happy that we'd be spending time together again. Then again, so am I. She's really been a great friend, even better than Angelina. Ashley's been there for me when Angelina couldn't. Ashley's been such a positive influence in my life. Jamie closed her locker room door and began looking through her briefcase of clothes and found her street clothes, specifically her rated V top, some jeans, her pink socks, shoes, and of course, her lingerie. Her favorite set of lingerie as well, her baby blue set. She got changed out of her gear, then got into her street clothes. As she did, she thought to herself, my life's been so awesome lately. I'm so glad that I work for such an awesome company like TNA. The schedule isn't as rough as the WWE's is on their talent. Plus, I've made so many awesome friends here, including Ashley. Gosh, I can't wait to see how my reign as champ goes. Just as Jamie had finished changing and packing away her stuff, she turned around to hear her locker room door knock. She went to open it, and Ashley was standing there wearing a rated V shirt, which made Jamie smile hugely. Ashley really was an incredible friend. Hey, we've got the same shirt on! Haha, yeah, we have, Ashley. How about we get going before we end up raiding the cafeteria here? It probably has cold stuff by now, and I'd rather not eat it. Me neither. Let's get going. Jamie smiled and linked arms with her BFF as they walked down the hallway together. She felt so happy right now. Her life was all sorts of good. She was the TNA Knockouts champion. She was back in TNA where she belonged, and she had the best friend in the world, Ashley, who she was going to have a girly girl night with. A real, beautiful people style celebration. Do you remember my nickname for you, Jamie? Of course I do. It's my favorite, the Velveteen Princess. You know mine for you, of course. Course I do. You suggested it to the staff, and it became my on-air gimmick, the Queen Bee. Haha. They both smiled and giggled as they reminisced about old times. They eventually made it to the car park and found Jamie's car easily. It stood out from the rest as it was a Lamborghini Gallardo Spider. Ashley smiled, seeing the car, and jumped up and down like an excited little girl, which made Jamie smile. She was so happy seeing Ashley this happy. It made her smile. Yay! You bought your Lambo! Oh gosh, we had such fun speeding down the roads in that in the past. Haha, love it. I know you do, girl. So do I. That's why I got it after you kept on pestering and nagging me to get one. Haha. They both laughed some more as they put their bags in the trunk, then got in. Jamie in the driver's seat and Ashley right next to her. Then Jamie said, You ready then, girl? Of course I am. Jamie smiled, then smirked and started the car, and slammed on the speed as they drove out of the car park and down the roads. Ashley smiling and all kinds of giddy and excited, Jamie had to admit. She loved being around Ashley. She was one of the most happy people she knew, always looking on the brighter side of life no matter what happened. She loved that about her. Gosh, I love this car, Jamie. You've got to drive me around in it more. Please? pretty, pretty please, with strawberries coated in chocolate and ice cream on top. Duh. Okay then, we'll use it to get to and from work then. But you've got to promise me you'll not keep on bragging to people like you used to. Haha. Spoil sport! Okay then, that's fair enough. Ashley smiled and warmly hugged her friend as Jamie cruised down the highway, getting closer to the hotel she was staying at, whilst the TNA crew were in England. It wasn't long before they arrived there. Jamie pulled into the hotel's parking lot and had her car valet parked for her, as her and Ashley took their bags inside the hotel, and they walked over to the front desk, where they were greeted by the desk clerk, a slightly small woman with pink hair. Ah, Mrs. Santerre, I hope you've had a good day. Would you like your room key? Yes, please, and thank you. I've had a great day. This is my friend Ashley. She's going to be staying with me tonight. Oh, that's good. I hope you two have fun. Would you like anything sent up to your room tonight, Miss Santerre? Some wine? Cola? Chocolates? Any snacks? Oh, can we have chocolates and cola, Jamie? Please, 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 please! Ha 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 ha. Okay, girl. Calm down. Yes, we'd like some snacks and chocolates and cola, please. And some wine as well. Send us up some of everything. Consider it done, Miss Santerre. Have a good evening. Oh, we always do. Jamie and Ashley then walked over to the VIP lift, which Jamie used her keycard to open. Once inside, the door closed, and Jamie pressed the button for floor number 8, and the lift slowly started to take them up. Gosh, Jamie, this thing is slow for a VIP lift. I hope it gets us up to your room floor before our snacks and drinks get there. Haha, Ashley, it will. It's not as slow as the non-VIP lift. That thing goes at a turtle's pace sometimes. Dang, that has to suck for whoever uses it then. I bet it does, girl. Ashley smiled at Jamie and hugged her again. Jamie smiled again. She liked being hugged. It was nice, and she had to admit, Ashley really liked hugging people, so it was a win-win for her. What Jamie didn't know, though, was that, all along, Ashley had other reasons for wanting to spend time alone with Jamie tonight. Of course, Ashley would tell her that in good time. Finally! That took for freaking ever. I know, right, Ash girl? They both giggled as the elevator came to a stop on floor 8, and the doors opened. They picked up their bags, then walked out of it, and down the hallways to room 11, Jamie's room, and Jamie got out her keycard and opened the door and let Ashley in first, herself second so she could close the door. Gosh, this is a beautiful room, Jamie. Swanky as hell. Of course, what would you expect? I need my creature comforts after all. Haha, true. Oh, so true, Jamie. Ashley smiled and put her bags down, and immediately ran and jumped on Jamie's big bed. And rested her head on it, making Jamie giggle as she put down her bag as well, and went and sat next to her best friend on her bed and said, well, seeing as we've got time to kill before our snacks and drinks get here, how's about we start talking? Sounds like fun! What do you want to talk about? Well, how about you tell me something new about yourself that I don't know yet? I'm sure stuff's been happening in your life that you probably haven't gotten the time to tell me about yet. True, but shouldn't we get more comfortable first? I mean, we're still wearing our street clothes. That's true, but all I've got on underneath is my lingerie, and I don't feel like getting changed again into something else. It's cool if you wear just that. I've got mine on as well. It's far more relaxing. Plus, we can have fun teasing whoever brings up our stuff. They both laughed. Jamie always loved Ashley's sense of humor. She was right as well. She would feel more comfortable relaxing in her lingerie now that she thought about it. Plus, the only other person here was Ashley, and they've changed together before, so she knew she was safe here with her friend. Okay then, let's get these clothes off and relax in our lingerie, girl. Yay! Jamie smiled as she and Ashley took off their clothes. As they did, Jamie couldn't help but notice Ashley's smoking hot body. Ashley had on her seductive white lingerie, which made Jamie ever so slightly horny. She put the thoughts in the back of her mind, though. She shouldn't be thinking like that. Ashley's her friend, after all. You look amazingly hot and beautiful, Jamie. Baby blue is definitely your color. Oh, thanks, Ashley. You look super sexy yourself in that white lingerie. That's definitely your color. Ashley smiled, and Pounce hugged Jamie. They both giggled as they rolled around fighting with one another. Jamie couldn't help but feel like the feeling of Ashley's body on hers. It felt so good. But Jamie shouldn't be feeling that. If she could slap herself right now, she would. Secretly, Ashley wanted that, and she could tell, because for a moment Jamie went quiet and held her lips together before laughing again. She knew she was trying to suppress a moan, and Ashley knew that she could soon tell Jamie her secret. And then, Jamie won't be suppressing her moans anymore. The two girls jumped as they heard a knock at Jamie's hotel room door. Jamie put on her dressing gown quickly, and Ashley pulling the covers over herself. Then Jamie said, "Who is it?" "It's the hotel concierge, Miss Sansanterre. I have your drinks and snacks that you requested to be brought up to your room." "Ah, okay." Jamie opened the door, and the concierge had a big trolley full of snacks and drinks for the two ladies. Jamie smirked at all of it, and Ashley smiled seeing it. Jamie then said as she took the trolley, "Thank you. If you hang on for a second, I'll have a tip for you." "Thank you, Miss Sansanterre." "It's nothing. You deserve it having to push that thing up here." Jamie quickly grabbed her purse, gave the concierge a $10 tip, making the man smile, who then bowed and closed her door. Ashley then sprung up and grabbed some chocolates and some wine and said, "Yay! It's finally here!" "Haha, indeed. Let's enjoy it." The two girls poured themselves some wine each, then set to sharing a box of chocolates between themselves, sitting next to one another again on Jamie's bed. Jamie would then say to Ashley, "So, now this stuff is here, you going to tell me something about yourself? We forgot about that in all the play fighting fun." "Haha, oh yeah. Well, I do have something I can tell you. But it's a secret. Promise you won't tell anyone, right?" "Of course I won't tell anyone. You're my bestie." Ashley smiled hearing Jamie say that. She knew now was the time to tell her something she'd wanted to tell her since the day she'd met Jamie, but something she didn't have the courage to tell her till right now. "Well, there's this real special someone in my life, someone that I know well. That's a big part of my life. And recently I realized I have feelings for this person. Well, actually, I've had feelings for this person since the day I met this person, and I haven't had the courage to tell the person yet. What do you think I should do?" "Oh, Ashley, you're one of the most upbeat girls I know. I thought it'd be easy for you to tell someone how you felt about them." "Haha, I guess. Do you want to know who it is?" "Of course! Who is it?" Ashley chose that moment to pounce Jamie once more, but this time, she passionately made out with her friend. Jamie at first didn't know what to do or think, but quickly realized she liked it. She enjoyed it, and it was turning her on. And this time, she'd let those feelings stay surfaced. The two wrapped their arms around one another, and their embrace lasted for the good part of 35 minutes before they separated, Ashley saying, "You! From the moment we met, I've always loved you, Jamie. I've always wanted you. You're my Velveteen Princess. You're my world, Jamie. My everything. I love you." "Wow! I never knew you felt that way about me before, Ashley. I always thought you were a really amazing friend, my BFF. I didn't know you had feelings for me, but to tell you the truth, that kiss and rolling around with you, it turned me on." "So, are you saying you love me too?" "Yeah, I am, my queen bee." Aww. Jamie said with a warm, loving smile. Ashley returned the smile. As they stared into one another's eyes, the two kissed again. This time, they both showed the same passion that Ashley showed when she planted the first kiss on Jamie's lips. Jamie moaned as she felt Ashley's hands exploring her body. It felt so good. It felt right. It felt like Ashley knew what she was doing as she effortlessly slid off Jamie's bra, revealing Jamie's huge, delicious, perfectly firm breast. Ashley licked her lips, looking at them, as she said to Jamie, "Your breasts look delicious, Jamie. I want to play with them, my Velveteen Princess." "Go ahead, my queen bee. I'm all yours." Ashley loved hearing that. Jamie was all hers, and now that she had Jamie, she was never, ever going to let her go. She took a breast in each hand and began to play with them as she continued to make out with Jamie, whose hands had wandered down to Ashley's ass by this point, making Ashley purr. as Jamie squeezed and groped it. That's nice, Jamie. You like my ass, my princess? I do. Feels nice. I like holding it. Good. I'm all yours, my princess. Those words turned Jamie on even more, as she pulled down Ashley's thong using her thumbs. Then, she resumed groping her ass, as they both grew wetter with every passing moment. Ashley loved the feeling of Jamie's breast in her hands, and Jamie loved groping Ashley's ass. Ashley, however, wanted a little more. She wanted to take her princess, and she wanted to taste her huge breast, so she started slowly licking them, making Jamie purr with lust and moan as she said, fuck, Ashley. That feels so good. Your tongue on my tits feels so nice. They taste so good, Jamie, and they're all mine. So good. They make me so horny. They both purred, both were getting horny, but they both wanted more. They were both getting very, very wet by this point. But Ashley was the only one whose thong was off. She wanted Jamie's off so she could fuck her, so she could feel her princess's pussy against her own, so she could truly feel how wet they're making one another. And she had a plan to do it perfectly. God, your nipples are hardening, Jamie. I know something, though, that'll make us both hornier, babe. Fuck. What is it, Ash? You suck on my tits while I grind our pussies together. Win-win for both of us, babe. Fuck. I agree. Do it. Do it before I burst, my queen. Ashley licked her lips at Jamie's words and took off her own bra, leaving herself completely nude, and proceeded to hold Jamie's head to her tits. Jamie beginning to suck on them hungrily, making her purr and moan. Ashley also then slid off Jamie's thong and began to grind their wet pussies together, then both becoming extremely horny from it. Fuck. That feels so fucking good, Jamie. Fuck. I've always wondered what it'd feel like if you sucked on my tits, and I was grinding our pussies together, and now I know. It's heaven. So much good heaven. Was all Jamie could say in response, as she had become far too hungry for Ashley's tits to speak at this point. Ashley enjoyed the fact that her lover, her princess, loved her tits that much. Plus, that made her that much hornier. It made her realize that she had the best lover in the world, and they were perfect for one another. Then again, Ashley already knew that. Fuck! Jamie, baby, you're making me so wet. God, if you keep sucking on my tits, you're gonna milk me. Fuck. Ashley smirked. Jamie liked that idea. It sounded like, and sure enough, milk started flowing from Ashley's tits, and Jamie began drinking it down, over and over, not stopping, making them both super hornier and wetter. Ashley, from the pleasure of their pussies rubbing together, and the sight of her lover, her princess, Jamie, sucking on her tits, and drinking her tit milk. Jamie, from drinking Ashley's tit milk, and the pleasure of their pussies rubbing together. Babe. Fuck. This is so fucking good, Jamie. I think I'm close, baby. So close. So am I. So tasty. I love your milk, Ashley. So good. God, I'm close. Ashley sped up, grinding their pussies together, causing them both so much pleasure. They both tilted on the edge of pure sexual bliss. Finally, they both achieved it, as they both eventually climaxed at the same time, shouting out one another's names as they did. Jamie! Ashley! They both then fell on the bed, exhausted. Ashley on the bottom, Jamie on top, resting her head in between Ashley's tits, making Ashley smile even more, as she said, near breathless to her lover, Jamie, my princess, my everything. I'm so glad we're together now. I'm so glad you're mine, and I'm yours. Together, you and I are going to be the hottest couple alive, the queen bee and the velveteen princess. We're the sexual, beautiful people, babe. And I look forward to pleasuring you over and over, each and every single night. My queen bee, I love you so much. I never thought I'd fall in love with my bestie, but I'm so glad that I did. I'm so glad we're together. You make me feel so good. Plus, I can't wait to suck on those tits again. I can't wait for you to either, babe. They both giggled, then they kissed once more before falling asleep in each other's arms. The both of them happy that they were together. Ashley happy that she finally had what she wanted, the hottest woman alive, all to herself, and nobody was ever going to take her from her. Nobody. The end. Thank you for listening to episode number 16 of Russell Erotica. We hope that you enjoyed this week's stories. As always, be sure to check us out on social media, including Tumblr, Instagram, and our official website, WrestleEroticaPod.com. If you enjoyed this week's episode, please be sure to like us on iTunes and give us a review, as it'll help out tremendously. Thank you and have a good week.